So this is going to be a relatively quick video talking about the off-season schedule of MLS, and after yesterday, the conclusion of the 2021 MLS Cup, we're now officially in off-season mode in MLS, and that before you know it, the season is going to begin, because I did mention before how this is going to be the shortest off-season in league history, and that in 2.5 months, the 2022 MLS regular season will begin. Now, first of all, I did cross off something that I originally was going to talk about if I did make the video yesterday right after when MLS Cup is over. And that, of course, is the MLS half-day transfer window. So what this basically is that teams can negotiate with other teams and basically trade some of their players, or maybe get some international spot in exchange for general allocation money. And I'll talk a little bit more about that in a video that I'll take a look at what happened in the half-day transfer window, which, even though it's only half-day and it's only like 4 hours, there was definitely a lot of activity in this transfer window and some blockbuster move that we see in this half-day transfer window. But in a couple of days, we will have the expansion draft, so obviously right now I'm pretty sure a lot of MLS experts have wrote articles about the mock draft and how the expansion draft is going to look like, and which 5 players Charlotte FC is going to take, and I'll definitely talk a little bit more about that when the expansion draft does happen, and take a look at the players that they select in the expansion draft. I mean, I know for one thing that I will say about the expansion draft is that recently it hasn't got as important as it has been, because since every season there's teams to be a new MLS team, the expansion draft almost feel like it's a regular occasion. But the other thing that I think people might not pay attention to the expansion draft too much is because most of those players that is picking the expansion draft don't usually stay with their team. In fact, in some cases, they might actually move on to another team via a trade, and that maybe Charlotte would pick a guy from the expansion draft and just use it as an asset to sell off to another team. Now, free agency, of course, will be opening on December 15 and also in December 15, and this was announced yesterday. Well, it was actually originally going to be a report, but it was officially announced by the league that the full schedule release for every team in MLS next season is going to happen on this day, which is a little bit earlier than usual. Usually the schedule does release in January, but I kind of knew this was going to happen when they decided to announce the home opener for every single team back in November, and that usually takes about a month between the time when the league announced the home opener for each of these teams and the full schedule to announce, and therefore it seems like it was going to be announced in somewhere in December, and we now know exactly what day it is, and that's always going to be the most exciting day, and especially for me, it's almost like a kid going into a candy shop looking at all the schedule and look at all the good games that we're going to have in the 2022 MLS season. But after that, we of course will have the re-entry process stage 1 in December 17, followed by the second stage in December 23rd. Then we get the super draft on January 11, and this time I'll try my best to pay a little bit more attention to the super draft. And I said before of how I think the super draft, years after years, the meaning of the super draft has started to decline. Though I will say that some people will counter argument and said that there's still good players that does come out of the super draft and turns out to be a very decent player. But for me, I think with the way that, especially with the homegrown talent that this league has in the academy that some of these team has, the super draft started to kind of fade away a little bit, and that it's unsurprising some of these teams that has good academy, I won't be surprised if the Philadelphia Union is once again going to just basically get their super draft pick this season and basically trade it to whoever wants it, because they know they don't really need the super draft. They have the homegrown talent from their academy to really build a good team. And also, not to mention the fact, the other thing that's damaging in terms of the super draft is the new development league that MLS is going to have, that is MLS Next Pro, and that's a league that I'm pretty sure a lot of these young players, I know that they could definitely go to college and maybe pick up in the super draft, but seems like now there might be more players that might choose the path of going into this league, because this is a good opportunity for you to go into this league and potentially maybe even get scouted by some European team, or even scouted by your own MLS team, depending on which affiliates that you of course join. So I really think the super draft eventually, it is going to be a time where I can definitely see this be going away soon. But as of now, it is still going strong, and we'll see who exactly is going to be picked first in the Super Draft this year. After Charlotte, of course, announced their pick. Now, in February 26th, that's when the MLS season begins. So, like I said, it doesn't take very long before we get the new season begin, and this is also why I'm going to have to be really quick in terms of making some of these moving forward series, and of course my season preview of all 29 teams as quick as possible. And that, I think, from now to pretty much the beginning of the season, don't be surprised, I'm gonna make a moving forward series of looking at each team at least once every single day. In fact, I think I've already done like 3 or 4 episodes of the moving forward series. I kind of stopped because I got so busy in terms of looking at some of the games, and the schedule was kind of compacted that I had to do previews and reviews, so forth. But I think starting tomorrow, I will once again restart the moving forward series and look at all these teams and how their season, of course, have gone, and looking at what are their future going to be moving on into next season. But there you have it. That is pretty much it for this very quick video talking about the off-season schedule. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think of this? And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do, make sure you guys do like, smash the subscribe button, and yeah, I of course will see you guys next time.